It's Sunday morning, day 11. Who wouldn't want to wake up like that? Looking at that. Still at Tonfanau. My ankle is horrendous. Look at that. That is so swollen. So I've got to treat that now. Just realised it's not just my ankle, it's my whole foot. So look at the difference between the scrawniness. Look, especially round by the toes. Measure on the foot. This is all pudgy. The whole foot is swollen. This morning, it's a nice, simple Sunday morning breakfast. Finishing off the Welsh cakes with a bit of instant Azera coffee and some ibuprofen. Help the swelling go down. Well, I'm sitting here with a nice pack bandaged onto my foot. It's completely frozen, so it's rock solid, and it's also quite painful. But that's by the by. I'll sort that out. That'll be okay in an hour. The worst thing is I'm feeling a little bit down about one thing. I've woken up. It's day 11, and I've just twigged. Today I'm a third of the way through my trip, so I've realised that my new lifestyle is not infinite. But that doesn't matter, because we've still got many more great adventures to come, guys and gals. More friends, more food, more travels, more opportunities, more fun. Well, it's the start of another beautiful day, but I'm going to leave Tonfanau now and drive to Lllandrindod Wells, however it's pronounced, where my grandfather did his officer cadet training. I was hoping to hop a fence and go and look around the camp and take in the old dereliction, but with my ankle how it is, I think I'm better just to try and make a start on driving. So I've got a couple of hours to go inland, and then from there we'll see what we do. This is an absolutely gorgeous route through Happy Valley in West Wales. Beautiful mountains and hills and dry stone walling and foxgloves and bracken and grass and heather. It's really, really nice. 20% gradient. Let's have a look what we see down here. There you are. West Wales opens out in front of me in all its glory. So nice. I'm going a little bit slower than I even need to. Well, I need to go slow because it's just beautiful. I'm looking around, and I thought, well, yeah, you guys want to see this. Stunning route. Days like this, you think, wow, I made the right decision coming away for a month. And I wasn't convinced, to be honest, not until I actually got on the road and got down to Dorset. England, rubbish. UK, rubbish. Same food, same language, same people, same conversations. Everything's expensive, but wow, you know, that matches anywhere in the world. It's probably really silly to stop right there. It's quite an incline, but look at this. I'm now in Lllandrindod Wells, where my grandfather did his officer training in 1941 at 124 Officer Cadet Training Unit, known as OC2. It's a lovely railway station here. You've got a beautiful signal box on the platform. He would have arrived on this platform, presumably, as would my grandmother have done when she came to visit him here. Look at that, isn't that lovely? That ironwork is gorgeous. And a letterbox. Victorian. Perhaps we've got postcards at home sent from here. Lovely building here as well. Look at that, that's absolutely beautiful. Loads of character. Well, I'm loving this. I didn't expect to get anything railway-ish today. But just look at this beautiful ironwork holding up the canopy. It's lovely, isn't it? Really pretty station. Oh look, this stone from the Clairwen Dam marks the spot where on 23rd October 1952 Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II first set foot in Wales after her accession to the throne. I'm loving this. This is a great station. Beautiful buildings, really nicely preserved. Tesco's, just what I've been looking for. My ankle all swollen up, I'm going to take a little drive around this town. There's a hotel. This is a very popular octu because people were billeted in the many small hotels that existed because it had been a spa town. So instead of being in barrack rooms with loads and loads of people, they got to be in smaller kind of groups and communities. I make more friends. That's lovely. There was a parade of shops here that was taken over by London tailors to produce the officers' clothing from Barathea. There's big hotels there. Oh, there's a war memorial. The Hotel Metropole. Here we go. I'm just going to take. I don't know where I'm going specifically. There isn't anywhere that particularly I know of. That's a lovely building to the right. The Temple Bar and Sunnycroft, look at that, that's a nice looking hotel. And there's a lake up here apparently. Well, Sundays for beef, so it's corned beef hash day. So here we are, that's warming up. And I'm down in Lllandrindod Wells by the lake. Lovely little bit of parkland surrounding me. So I started off by browning off the potatoes a little bit. Those ones from the packets you saw last week. And now I've got the corned beef in there to brown off a little bit. I'm letting some of the moisture out first of all before I close the lid and start flicking things about and mixing things in. So of course we also want a little bit of Worcester sauce on there, a bit of Liam Perrins because that's a lovely flavour. I've got the salt and pepper to go on in a sec, but I can't do that while holding the camera. Flicked it over and you can see it's already looking amazing. Plenty more to go. The thing is, right, I'm probably not the first member of this family to sit in a field, well almost definitely not a member of this family, to sit in a field in Lllandrindod Wells, however you pronounce it, making corned beef for my lunch. That was a staple diet of the British Army. You win wars on that stuff. The beans are now bubbling away nicely in there. And there's my grated, mature cheddar cheese ready to go in as well. I'm going to flip that over, stir it up again. Ignore the black bits, they're the best. They're the crunchy, tasty, flavoursome bits. Both on the potatoes and on the corned beef. So let's see the end result in the Ridge Monkey. Oh, look, That's glorious. It's scandalous to have such good food. So, my dad tells me that they came here sometime after the war when he was about 10 or 11. So, early mid-50s. For a little holiday. Probably a down memory lane trip for my grandfather. And he said they stayed in a hotel and they had a god-awful meal. It was mince that had been boiled to death with vegetables and boiled potatoes. So it was terrible. Meanwhile, you know, this corned beef hash is probably what my grandfather would have cooked if he'd come back here, you know, some corned beef or something. And he might come back in this very camper of mine that was his. So who knows? But yeah, just a point to note. So bully beef, right? Corned beef, that wins wars. That lasts you 6 years. You can fight. The average soldier can fight for 6 years on a bit of bully beef. Unlike spam eaters who can only manage about 3. Just looking through my earlier research and the war diary for 244 Battery, 78th Heavy Anti Aircraft Regiment, my grandfather's original unit, records on the 18th of October 1940, Acting Bombardier Abs, Lance Bombardier Abbott, Lance Sergeant Crane, Lance Bombardier Shepherd and Gunner Walker JLA posted to 124 Octu Lllandrindod Wells. And I wrote, a specialist anti-aircraft Octu since May 1940, 124 Officer Cadet Training Unit sees candidates spending 4 months learning the skills necessary to lead men in the field. Lectures run from 8:30 until 7 at night, with breaks for meals, writing up of notes following each evening. Foot drill, physical training, map reading and gun drill are covered, as are tactical exercises in the surrounding hills. Despite the workload, 124 Octu is popular for the billets in small hotels, and Stanley is duly visited by Evelyn. Passing out sees him remove the white cadet flashes from his uniform, and the granting of a commission with subsequent posting to 81st Heavy Anti Aircraft Regiment, Ness, under Lieutenant Colonel Ritchie, MC. Supplement to the London Gazette, War Office, 28th February 1941, Regular Army, Emergency Commissions, Cadets, Royal Regiment of Artillery. The undermentioned cadets from 124th Octu and Coastal Artillery School to be Second Lieutenants, 15th February 1941. Stanley Frederick Crane, 170770. So there you have it, there's the history, that's why I'm here. That's pretty cool. If Richie was here, we could hire that and we could surf it. We could steal it and take it down to Sennen. That'd be awesome. Me, Richie, Gary, surfing a dragon. At the request of my father, I've stopped at Berriew in Montgomeryshire. Reason being, that white house you can see, that white cottage by the Lich Gate, is where Aunt Beattie lived. Lich Gate Cottage, now a tea room and deli. How nice. So right next to the end of Aunt Beattie's cottage, you've got the Lich Gate. Now the Lich Gate has up the top here to the immortal memory of the men of the parish who fell in the Great War, 1914-1919. Now Aunt Beattie's father also fell in the war. Oswald Herbert Rowe, who was the uncle of my grandmother, was killed up north in France, northern France, and is buried there. But these are the men of Berriew, and these men fell in the Second War. It's nice that they recorded not just the names but also where they were from. Archie Owen. Wonder if he was any relation to Aunt Beattie's husband. And here is the church. What a beautiful entrance. Well, it is a really lovely village. Very, very nice. Very pretty. There's a beautiful bridge here as well. That beautiful stone bridge that I walked in over. If we walk around and along, at that beautiful little stream. Hear the sound of rushing water? That's from all the rocks. It's pretty as a picture. This is a proper chocolate box, this place. Good Lord, it would appear that the Queen's been here as well. I wonder if she went tope fishing at Tywyn. Well, I couldn't find Aunt Beattie, I'm afraid. I even asked a little old lady who's been here 50 odd years. She couldn't remember the name. So just a little drive around Berriew for you, because it's absolutely beautiful. It's a stunning little place. It's the world's best kept, prettiest village or something as well. That might be an exaggeration. Oh, and there's Lychgate Cottage again. Well, goodbye Aunt Beattie. Maybe my children will find you with the power of the internet. Well, this is Powys Castle, which is a National Trust site. Had I pre-booked and had I come earlier, I could have got in there. There's also a deer park. I came in here as a little kid in the 1970s. It's just outside Berriew. We went looking for Aunt Beattie's grave, and then we went to Powys Castle. And yeah, went for a walk in the deer park, me and my father and a family friend, and I found some antlers off a red deer, 5-pointer from memory, which is currently in the display cabinet at National Trust site in Dunnet, of all things. We've actually got me sitting there on cinefilm holding it, which I would splice in, except I don't have those files with me. But that there is Powys Castle. Well, it's not all play and no work for Jack. That would make me an interesting boy. So tonight I've just pulled up and I'm doing washing up. My one remaining San Miguel glass out of the pair that I bought. Got my 2 campervan mugs. Sadly they say VW on there. And a sharp knife, bits and pieces. Anyway, so there's a couple of days stuff here. So there's last night's stuff and today's stuff. Just needed a wash. Now, as you can see, I'm using some fairy liquid, proper green fairy liquid, and a small thing. In this bucket. It's not a washing up bowl, it's a bucket. Okay, I've got these from Go Outdoors, and they are collapsible folding buckets, right? And they're rectangular shape, so they go right down like that. So they're really good. They hold quite a lot of water, okay, and then they fold down really small, about yay big. So that's really good. So I'm actually doing a bit of housekeeping tonight. Done a bit of tidying, put away some of the stuff I haven't been using. So obviously there's stuff that I'm going to get dirty tonight as well. Now they're rinsed off, I've been back to the van. So when I was just sort of like getting ready to start doing all my stuff tonight, Alison phoned up, as she does, and she's like, I love you, I miss you so much, I love you, I miss you. And are you still wearing the same shirt that you've had on for the last 11 days? Well, yes I have. So the thing is, I've also got the same shorts on. Thing is, the shirt's been in and out of the sea, I've been in and out of the sea and so on. So the only thing I've had to change are my underpants, which get cleaned. So where I've just rinsed that water, okay, these are still soaking wet because I wore them one pair fishing, one pair one pair surfing, one pair fishing. So, and there's my swim costume that I wore for diving. So these are getting a good rinse out as well, because stuff never dries when it's been in the salt water. So for example, where I wore this shirt and my blue shirt for surfing and fishing the other day and they got wet, they still haven't dried out. Okay, so there we go. So good rinse to get the salt water out. Okay, I've only been on a few hours at a time, so they haven't had a chance to actually get dirty. good ring out, okay, and that's going to just hang up on the side of my roof bars overnight. And that is my campsite admin. Well, I wasn't actually planning to eat tonight, still full up from my corned beef earlier, but I decided to make cheese on toast, well, a cheese toastie in the Ridge Monkey. So I'm just going to pop it in there, close the lid down, and it's supposed to be what it's for. Double Gloucester, salt and pepper, brown bread, only because I had some bread left. Well, it's slightly char grilled the outer, which is a bit of a problem, so I've worked out cheese on toast needs to be done with it on a third, so keep it on the yellow rather than having it sort of like halfway down the orange. But look at this, I then switched off. Oh, let me open that carefully, one hand. Look at that oozy goodness, that's what we like. So this is my last video for now, I think.